Hey Hebrew fans, this is Todd, and I was looking at an email from Super7, and it was talking about these really cool new G.I. Joes, which are called Reaction Plus. And when I was looking at them, I noticed that these figures have all these articulation points, just like the old G.I. Joes had from, a long time ago. They got, articulation on the shoulders and on the elbows, and probably rotation on the hands, and they have the O-rings, and they have the knees. And I'm looking at this and I'm going, this is so close to the way that Micronauts were made. And you guys know I'm a huge Micronaut fan. And so when I saw this last night, I was thinking I should contact Super7 and say, you guys should just start making Micronauts. Get the license. Find out a way to do it. I mean, I believe Hasbro owns Microsoft. Or not Microsoft. Hasbro owns Micronauts. And I believe that G.I. Joe was Hasbro too. And so I'm thinking this last night, and it's going through my head. And I'm like, oops, add to cart. Oops. Anyway, and I'm just like, these guys are so cool looking. Why not? And then this morning I woke up and I could not believe it. They actually have on their main page, Super7 main page, and in an email to me, that they are releasing Micronauts. Dun 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 dun. No way! So I'm looking at these. I've already pre-ordered these. These have already been pre-ordered. I am so excited. So we have Baron Karza. We have Biotron. Now, if you remember from the comics, Baron Karza was not huge like he was in the toys. He was about the same size. And these guys, being reaction figures, are going to be the same size as all of our Micronauts. And that is so cool. Now, Biotron should be a little bigger. He should have been a 5-inch figure, but that's okay. It's still going to be massively awesome, cool. And I wanted to show that I am really excited for this. And so hopefully this will have them spawn new Micronaut figures. I mean, I would love to have Micronaut figures actually the same size as... Oh, that's wave 1. Okay. The same size as our Ultimates. I would love a Micronaut figure Ultimate set. That'd be cool. Imagine the clear Baron Karza. I guess here's the individuals. Here we go. Now, I've seen people make Baron Karza figures before that are smaller like this. Usually 3D prints of some sort. Look at this, though. I mean, granted, the elbows are like plastic here instead of having the metal piece, like these metal piece here, just to kind of for looks. But he does look very cool. I am so excited about getting this figure. And he has the backpack. Stats, okay. Yeah, it is so cool. And here they are. Here are my favorite Micronauts right here. And it's funny is when I was a young kid, I took my Micronauts and I stuck them all in Tupperware type containers for my kids when I eventually had some, and those ones all kind of got destroyed. But most of these are from that Hasbro special release pack that we got at, I think it was Comic-Con or something. But then I also have some other figures. So here is the Baron Karza that I had as a child. Oh no! I have him held in the box with poster putty, so he's kind of stuck in there. But the new one's going to only be 3 1/4 inches tall, so it's going to be the same size, I believe, as these Micronauts here. So about the same size as his leg will be the size of the new figure, which is kind of funny because that's what they kind of showed in the comic book, was that smaller kind of figure. But these two figures, Baron Karza and Force Commander, they were extra large. Let's pull out Force Commander here. Now, in the comic, Force Commander was a blonde-haired dude. So I Gave him this special custom head that I made from a He-Man power sword that lights up. Now, if you don't know about these figures, what made these figures so cool was you could actually launch missiles and stuff from them. And, of course, that's what also made it so they stopped selling them, too. But he has a chest missile that shoots out. He has fist missiles that shoot out. And they're all held together with magnets, so you can just pop them in and out. Oh, so cool. And one of the fun things to do with them is you can take the horse, of course, and pop off the head, and pop off the pieces here, the legs, and bada bing, bada boom, you got yourself a centaur. So cool. Let's swap out the head for the real head. There we go. And these shoot missiles too. And you can put wheels on there instead and make a chariot out of it. There's so many different options. He has a horse as well. And it's just cool. And I have all their shooting accessories in here. Now, whenever you load an old toy especially, you always want to hold the trigger in the position it shoots in when you load it, and then release it. Otherwise, if you let it pop in by itself, you will end up sometimes ruining the attachment piece. So again, hold the trigger, load the toy, and then release the trigger and push it back in. Now the missiles for the horse are in a different case because I don't store the horse in here. But there we go. There he is. Fists of Fury. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and shoot a fist out. Usually I would not because I don't want to lose them. Stand. I can't stand. There we go. All right. Baron Karza, you're going down. Freddie Brown. Oh, you didn't knock him over. Fist number 2. Blammo. And let's try the wrist. Whew. I don't know, I lost that one. I got it though. Anyway. Fun. Now, all the Micronauts had the same size holes in them, and these holes could be used to plug in all kinds of different stuff. I have this on upside down on purpose so it fits the horse. When he's in his normal position as a humanoid, then this flips over, and it's got a little spot there for the button, and then, of course, you would flip over these missiles here. And these missiles are kind of cool because they have ball bearings in the back, which then can be used in place of those magnet spots for other cool designs. Now, when I was a kid, I would actually use these giant missiles because they didn't fit in his back correctly, and I didn't want to turn it over as a kid. I just couldn't do that. I would actually put them on the horse and give the horse these big giant rocket missiles instead of the small ones. Now, these ones don't shoot, so that's kind of stinky. But it just looks cool. Give it a little bit of angle. There you go. A little bit of English on there. And he is set. Now, if you have one of these toys from back in the late 70s, the knees break really easy. And the tails break really easy. I've seen a lot of people with broken tails and broken knees on these figures from years of abuse. Now, this one's not my original one. I never actually had an original Force Commander. I eventually got one on eBay for a good price from somebody. But this is my original Baron Karza from when I was a kid. It's one of my last figures that I actually had left over. And I know it's mine because it's got a little spot on the head right here where I made a helmet for him and I couldn't get it off, and I had to screw in a piece to push the helmet back off, and it made a little dent in his head. But it's funny is I actually gave him to my older brother, and he vacuum packed every piece individually, and then years later gave him back to me with all the pieces separated in the special vacuum packs. It was kind of funny. So he has been well preserved all this time. I also know it's mine too because the tab broke off right here when I was a kid. So I drilled a hole using a Phillips screwdriver and shoved in a double piece in there, just so I could replace that chunk that broke off. So, yep, been fixing and customizing since I was a young kid. There we go. And my Baron Karza only has 2 fists left out of the 4, and only 1 missile left out of his original missiles. So I don't load his up because less chance. And if I lose something, I don't have extra parts. Alright, well anyway, I'm really excited. I cannot wait. It's going to be fun to have a Baron Karza the same size as the actual characters. That's going to be really cool. Really cool, man. So, I'm excited about that. Look how cool. Now, these, like I said, are the new Hasbro ones that came out during that. I don't know if it was a Comic-Con or what it was, where they did it. I know what I used to always like to do. Let's take these wings right here, and I'd stick them on Baron Karza. Like I mentioned before, all the pieces are interchangeable. I used to call them the interchangeable world of the Micronauts. And so you could take this, take that off, and stick on the big old wing, and look how cool that looks. You know what? It does not look as cool as I remember as a kid. As a kid, it just looked awesome! But now looking at it, it looks kind of lame because it's such a small wing. But it's fun how it matches the color, though. Fun. Alright, anyway, my excitement is building. Hopefully, Super7, if you're watching this, we want more Micronauts. This is just, this would just make everyone's day. When I was a kid, I used to have the rocket tubes, the city. I had, my favorite toy was the battle cruiser. Oh, that was the coolest thing. I remember at Christmas time, I'd have a small little plastic tree, and I think it stood like this tall, and so probably I guess 12 inches. And I'd have all my Micronauts around it. It was always a lot of fun. Anyway, so what I want to know from you guys is, are you going to buy the new Baron Karza and any other figures that are released from Super7? Do we have any other Micronaut fans out there? Because I know that Micronaut fans are getting pretty old now because, you know, the toys were in the 70s. So it's not the same kids usually that are into He-Man. It's funny too, is look at the size difference between the classics. So these worked really good for the 80s figures, because let me just grab one of the Origins figures, because they're about the same size as the 80s figures. Baron Karza was just a little bit taller than He-Man, and it was kind of a fun deal. So I used to pretend like the Masters of the Universe were like the superheroes. They were giants in their day, and the Micronauts were all the normal people. And then and I'd have my He-Man figures all around the Micronaut city. And then Baron Karza and Force Commander were the same size as the He-Man figures. So it was always a lot of fun. Yes, I used to mix my toys. I know. How crazy is that? Alright, you guys. I will see you next video.
If you found enjoyment, like, subscribe.